Hello, everybody. I hope all of you guys are doing well. And I'm just going to take like 30 seconds to make my stream public so that all of you guys, when you guys comment, I can see that here and also show that on the screen. And that's going to give me my guest time to share out. Yeah. Ooh, how does it work? Okay. I'm done. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today we have Dr. Sarita Sharma. I'm honestly a very big fan of her. I'm really inspired, and like she is that one person that I feel like I can be a mix of all and grow up to be as. And she's amazing, honestly. She is an author, she's a writer, she's a poet, and she's also working for women because she's a woman. She's also a mom. She's also a homemaker. So she does a great deal. This word "women" means a lot. Okay, so she's been multitasking a lot, and let's know more about Dr. Sarita from her. So she's also going to introduce her in her own words, so you know more about her. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you, Raheem. I must say that I am your biggest fan because, before this, I had not expected Raheen to be this young a girl. I was expecting someone a little more matured because you usually don't associate someone who's doing this kind of a job with someone this young. So it gives me so much of pride when I'm sitting here next to her and talking about so many things that hopefully will lead to a better future for all of us. So thank you, Raheen, for the great introduction that you did. I don't have much to add to that. You've already done a great introduction there. Yes, of course, I come here today as the editor-in-chief of Tabs magazine, which we are all set to launch on the 12th of December. Yes, I'm a writer, a published author, I'm a poet, I'm a translator, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a woman, and multitasking, as you've already said, comes naturally to us. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great conversation with you there, Rahim.
Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward as well. So let's start from like the real beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in a small town called Tinsukia in Assam, which is to the northeast of India. So I'm basically a small town girl.
I see. And did you also grow up in India?
Yes, I grew up in India, my schooling, my college, my university, my PhD, everything I did in India. So born, brought up in India.
Amazing. So tell me, how were your early years? I mean, how was your childhood? And what do you feel like was a bit different in the way that you were brought up that now you have such ideas? And especially you have no shame in saying that you're a feminist and you support the idea of feminism.
Yes, I had an amazing childhood. We are five of us, five siblings, one brother and four sisters. But my parents, they never made us feel that, okay, you are girls, you are to be treated differently, you are to dress up differently, or you are to behave differently. So that was the kind of childhood that I had, equal in every sense of the term. So we were given equal kind of education. And I must not forget to say that in small town India, even in big town India, in South Asian countries, girls are exploited, dominated. They are not given the same kind of food as boys. I grew up so many years ago, but even during that time, my parents were that broad-minded to not differentiate between us, the siblings. So we had a fun-filled childhood where I used to, go out into the fields to play. I used to play with the boys also. I was quite a tomboy in my early years, and we used to have lots of fun. We used to study hard. We used to play hard. And one thing which my parents trained in me was that you need to have your education. You need to finish your education, and after that, you can go wherever you want to. You can do whatever you want to, and there was no kind of restriction. So I think when I compare my childhood with the ones that my children are having, I think they live in a more restricted environment with gadgets all around, and especially post COVID, it has they inside their rooms, inside their homes. I did not have this kind of a childhood. We were free to mingle and laugh and play and have.
Hello, can you hear
Yeah.
me? I think
Yes.
you just froze.
Did I freeze? I can hear
Oh,
you,
yes,
Rahim.
you did.
Yes, so that was the kind of childhood that I had.
I see. And I feel very nice that this gender equality was something that was part of your household since like when you were born. I think that was what, and do correct me if that's wrong, is that those ideas, those kind of things were just inculcated in your mind that women and men are equal and are not to be, if we're living in India or in Pakistan, it's we some people might refer to it as men dominant society, but I feel like many women entrepreneurs are coming up, many women are in general coming up in the workforce, as well as are empowered women. So I feel like that is going to help the world grow as well.
Yes, Raheen, and I very firmly believe, I have been saying this, that only an empowered woman or an empowered man can empower others. So I feel that my mother was very liberated. She was a strong woman, but equally strong and liberated was my father, because he did not feel intimidated by her freedom or her liberation as a woman, or the kind of freedom that she gave us to her daughters. He did not feel intimidated by it. Any lesser men would have been intimidated by her. So I am a product of a strong woman and a stronger man. So I think that makes me strong in the mind, and I would like to, transfer the same kind of beliefs, the same kind of faith onto my children as well.
Yes. So do you mind me asking how many children do you have?
I have two boys.
Oh, two boys.
Yes.
Boys, I'm not saying especially, but two children are hard to raise, whether they be any genders. I mean, they're
Yes.
hard to raise because they're two children and they're going, and they're very cute because I just saw their picture on your Facebook. They're very cute.
Naughty as hell. Of course,
Uh,
they are a handful, but I try my best because it is difficult to raise boys. Because girls,
yeah.
automatically, we have that sensitiveness in us that. Somewhere we understand more emotionally connected to others, maybe. So it's difficult to raise boys, and I'm trying my best to raise my boys as well as possible so that they grow up to become gentlemen in the true sense of the term, that they respect women, the kind of man that my father was, the kind of man that my brother is. I would like to be them the same. So I'm trying my best.
That is so amazing. Now, I have a question. This is a question from my heart. I mean, I'm in the eighth grade, and by the time you get in the eighth grade, you're like, how long is it now? And again, you go on with your education, at least basic education, and then you can build up on it. You went for a PhD in English literature. What made you decide that English literature is like the thing that I want to pursue my PhD and then a PhD?
PhD happened pretty late in my career after my children were born. In fact, even the second one was born, and then I decided that I need to go for a PhD because I somewhere felt that my knowledge was incomplete without that PhD. Something inside me propelled, and after a break of 13 years in education, I went back to sit and write that entrance for the PhD. And in my mind, I was totally blank because it had already been 13 years since I had left my education, but I went back to write that exam, and thankfully I cleared, and that propelled me to pursue it as more seriously. And within 2 years, I had finished writing my PhD. I had to wait for some time before submitting because there are some submission guidelines and all that, but I had finished it. So the thirst for knowledge. It can propel you. It can make you do anything at any point in your age, at any point in your career. If you have the drive in you, if you have the focus in you, you can go and get anything. So eighth grade is fun period. It lots of, yes,
Yeah.
it is lots of fun, lots of but at the same time, yes, I can see the focus in you, and I'm so proud of you, Rahim. But yes, we need women like you. We need more invested and focused children like you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Now, tell me all about your writing because as to I seen an interview of you, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Always do that. Feel free to do that whenever. Now, it did take you some time to publish your work, and you were not so open to publishing, and then it did take some encouragement and some courage to just go ahead and publish the amazing work.
Yes, yes. Uh, you know, uh, when you write something, you are not 100% sure of you being very good, or you being publishable or readable even. So I think that needs some kind of encouragement from others. So I used to be a closet writer, yes, from a very long time. I think I started writing when I was in the 10th or 11th grade, and I just used to write in my diary and put them inside the closet. So it was like in the year 2016 that I first got published. So it took me a really, really long time to really feel that, okay, fine, I'm readable enough. And it took me quite some pushing from people around me, my family, my husband, who is an amazing support, I must say. After my parents, it is my husband who has always encouraged and motivated me. So I'm fortunate enough to be, surrounded by people who have always motivated me, encouraged me. They are the wind beneath my wing, as I love calling them. So yes, I had some mentors, university professors, my family who encouraged me. Okay, fine, you should go ahead, publish. And once I published, God has been merciful. It was like very fast, and I was like 9 books old all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I was just about to say that as a you 9 books year old, I mean that is a very fun term first. And now tell me in this beautiful process, as I like to say it, all the friends in the family and basically also the colleagues and the mentors, all the people that you surround yourself by, how do you think they play a vital role in the development of a writer and of a poet?
Family, friends are vital, are vital. Anyone. We always need that encouragement, because I feel that I am a people's person. I cannot live alone. I cannot stay alone in one room at night. Also, I would not want to be all left all alone in a room. I don't want to do that. So I need people in my life, and I need that constant encouragement and motivation. There may be some people in the world who are confident, who can go about doing their own things, but not me. I need to have someone pushing me. It has always been like this. Even now, when I write a poem or something, it is my sisters that I talk to, or my brother, or my father I talk to, and then some of my friends are there. I send those things to them. Is it good enough? I think I'm not very confident about being a writer as such. So it's always a learning process for me. I keep on learning every day.
Hmm. Yes, and I totally understand that. And of the now coming to the poet part, poetry can be. I mean, for me, I feel like, dude, it's so hard to understand because yes, I am young, but there's such pieces that just like hit you in the heart, and they just feel to be made such so beautifully. The words and the lesser the words, the more the meaning, I think. And how has your journey like of a poet been?
For me, I have always written about topics which push me harder to talk about it. So I have spoken about women because I have said in one of my interviews that I am a feminist, irrespective or regardless of what the world thinks about the world. I'm not about the word. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a feminist, because I feel for women and I talk for women, and I am a woman. So how can I not be a feminist? I am one because I believe in equality. So I have spoken about exploited women, dominated women. When I see these women, I'm deeply moved by their plight, and I feel that if I can at least talk about it, or at least a voice, if I can lend a voice to their sufferings, maybe somewhere I may be making a difference. I don't know whether what I feel is really the truth, but yes, I continue doing that. And there are like children or old age that I write about, people who are old and abandoned by their families, or children who are abused physically, mentally, sexually. They are abused. I talk about these children also, girls especially, because in our country, I don't know about Pakistan, in our country period is a taboo.
Yeah.
So a girl on her period would be segregated for the for 4 or 5 days. So I talk about the trauma that girls go through during that period. A 9 or 10-year-old girl, when she has the periods for the first time, she's segregated from the family, kept in a separate room. No one is allowed to enter that room. No one is allowed to talk, interact with her. So that's the kind of trauma that I have seen people going through, and I talk about that. So somewhere these. I write about things which have moved me. I cannot talk about just something out of the sky. I need to be moved enough by something to be able to talk about it, write about it.
Yes, and I totally agree with you because I mean India and Pakistan, the food's same, the people same, the films are same. We're almost the same. Okay, so I feel like we're like one country, we're still one country. So there's just that feeling. And honestly, I have friends from India. I interview people from India, and I interview people from a lot of countries. So I feel there should be no national boundaries between us because the world's world. The land, it doesn't care about those boundaries, and it's the boundaries that we've made now. And as you said, I just want to add on to that, about children being abused. I am so proud to say that I work as a theater actress, and I work only on things that are highlighting child abuse. So educating about them, how to prevent about it, and how to deal with those awkward encounters with strangers. So how things happen, and in fact, we also toured with this in Pakistan. And it was very overwhelming to find children that were actually abused but did not tell their parents. Now, through our we had a puppet show. We also had a theater play to show. So through that play, they understood how to convey to their parents. And I felt like at the top of the world. I'm like, oh my god, I helped a child convey what they've been going through. So I feel like that is very interesting. And I also talk about the love, care, and respect of children, how that can change the world. And because you two have children, so you would understand how when you're loving your child, you're caring, and you're also respecting your child, they would become the responsible, loving, and caring, respected slash respectful citizens of the world. So honestly, it's amazing that I know people like you, and I can call them my mentors. Now, you're also the editor of Taft's magazine. Tell me all about that. And it's also being launched, so I feel like now is the time, right?
Yes. I am so proud of the magazine. That's the first thing that comes to me when I talk about the magazine. We are launching the second edition this year. The first edition was launched in 2019, and I am so proud to be associated with the Transdisciplinary Agora for Future Discussions, which is the full form of TAPS. So, this magazine, as I love calling it, a transdisciplinarian's delight. The world has come to a stage where we cannot segregate our knowledge, or we cannot say that, okay, fine, I'll move all by myself. We cannot do that. We have to join hands. We have to bring our minds together, our ideas together, our research together from different fields of study and work. And we need to combine our ideas and move together hand in hand. So that is what we do in the magazine. The magazine is a varied and encompassing read from different areas of life, like we have artificial intelligence, biotechnology, we have counseling on children, we have gender issues, we have healthcare, literature, life narratives. So it's like basically a transdisciplinary approach to the future as we see and understand it. And as we see unraveling the future, which is unraveling right in front of us, because a year ago we had not thought, or we could not have imagined a situation that we are in today. So
Wow.
this may not be the first time, and this may not be the last time. So we could have so many more such episodes. So we need to be prepared for what the future brings to us tomorrow. So that is what we believe in, TAPS. That is our vision, to prepare the generation, to prepare the world for for the kind of future that may be there lying in wait for us. And the approach has to be transdisciplinary. It has to be transdisciplinary because we cannot be walking alone. We have to walk together, and we have to bring in, combine all kinds of knowledge so that we can proceed as one. So that's the kind of magazine that we have. You have world class photography, you have literature, counseling about medicines. So basically, people from all over the globe, different kinds of people, researchers, scientists, homemakers, students. Everyone has written for us, and I'm so proud of the magazine. Yes.
Yes, and honestly, when I learned about it, and when I was like, wow, this is amazing, because first this unified approach, and yet in a very futuristic way, and bringing best of the best to all the people around the world. This is yet a huge task, but it is paying off well, right? Because you're bringing people the knowledge, the information, well researched, yet in a very unified approach, in a very futuristic way. So I feel like that is just, I mean, awesome. So now tell me, what do you think? How can a magazine, because magazine too is a channel through people can write their thoughts down, or can capture it in a camera. There's a lot of ways that you can incorporate your work into a magazine. How do you think that can make an impact in today's world?
Mhm. Okay. Uh, Somewhere we still haven't forgotten to read. Of
Yes.
course, with technology coming in and a lot of things happening online, but still, I think even if it is a computer or even it is something to do with the net, we haven't forgotten to read. We still have researchers, we still have people, scholars who are doing this kind of work. So our magazine will definitely make an impact on the people who read. And honestly, I would like to tell here one more thing, that we need to inculcate the habit of reading in children so that
Yes.
magazines like ours can prepare them for the days to come. Magazine like ours will bring in more interest amongst the researchers and scholars. I'm sure about that, because the kind of articles that we feature are exclusive, and they must be read in order to understand what the world is right now, what the thoughts of the people, different kinds of people working in different areas are right now. So we do not focus just on science, we do not focus just on literature, we do not focus just on social events or politics. We focus on everything, and that everything matters. So I think it is very important that we read and we inculcate the habit of reading so that magazines like ours can make an impact to everyone.
Yes, and that is so true, because I feel like a habit of reading should be there. Now I read, I as much as I can, and at times I can be very lazy. I would prefer to watch something on Netflix rather than reading, but yet I feel like something very interesting, something that is like, no, I have to read about this. Now this is very interesting, and topics like biotechnology, topics like you talked about, all those topics, I feel like they're topics that touch the heart, and they kind of like trigger that curiosity in the mind. So I feel like a habit of reading, and that is how magazines, not just Tafts, but all the magazines out there, but unique like Tafts is something like one in a million, right? So can make a huge impact on the youth especially, and also the people that are adults, that can be the decision makers or anybody in basically the audience. Now, how was your journey to motivational speaking, and what do you think is motivation?
Okay. Um, Initially, the concept of this motivational speaking was not there. Of course, it has come in recent years. But since the very, some 14, 15 years ago, what I used to do was I used to conduct workshops on different topics. Like I used to talk on child abuse. I used to do a lot of counseling. I'm a mental health counselor as well. And I used to do a lot of counseling on a personal one-to-one basis, as well as during workshops and all. So different schools, different universities, and different groups, they used to invite me for speaking events, where we used to.
Oh, you just muted yourself and closed the camera. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was a technical glitch. Okay, so I used to do a lot of motivational speaking back then, and different organizations, universities, and students, they used to come to me for mentorship, and that is how it all began. And later on, I realized that what I was doing was part of motivation, that I was encouraging someone to do better in life, that I was encouraging someone to take better and informed decisions in life. So I loved doing that, and I do it free of cost also all the time, you know. So that is a passion which I have developed over years. Initially, I did not realize that I was motivating someone as deeply. But later on, when people came looking for me, when people were like, yes, please talk to us, our students were so motivated by you, or our members of the organization were so motivated. And then I realized that, okay, this is one thing which I have veered into. So let me carry it as much as I can. So I still do that. I talk to anyone who is willing to, anyone who wants my suggestions on anything. I reach out, I help them as much as I can. So that is how, and motivating is, as I said, helping someone to make an informed decision. It could be about your personal life, it could be about career choices, it could be about any kind of dichotomy that you may be facing in your life at any point in your life. So if there is a mentor, if there is someone you can talk to openly, honestly, about whatever you are feeling, and if there's someone who listens to you without judging you, and if there's someone who can give you sound advice, I think that person is a motivational that person is already motivating you. So that is how it began, and that is how it is.
Yes. Now, I feel like motivational speaking, I feel like in Pakistan as well as India, it's become a bit controversial as to people that are copying work off of the internet or are using other people's developments or researches without mentioning them or saying that this was taken by that frameworks. Now, I've actually personally seen a few people like this is the person that originally developed the framework, and this is these are the people that are copying off the earning off of that person's research. What do you have to say about the uniqueness of this? It's an art to motivate somebody, so the motivation and the uniqueness of this art.
Yes, I think motivating someone is very personal. First of all, you have to have the passion in you to really, really listen to someone. Without being a good listener, you cannot motivate anyone. First of all, you have to listen. You have to have the required empathy to understand what the other person might be going through. You cannot just claim to be a motivational speaker. Okay, fine, I'll motivate someone. You take out some phrases from someone's book. You take out some, framework from someone's research, and then you pose yourself as a motivational speaker. That doesn't work. So first of all, I would say we need to learn to listen. We need to learn to listen with empathy. We need to really put ourselves in that person's shoes in order to understand what that person might be going through, and honesty in the approach. Honesty, I need to be honest to yourself. I need to be honest to myself in order to motivate you fully. And I also need to talk about my own life experiences when I'm talking to you. I cannot just be blah 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 and Raheen, do this and do that. I cannot. I need to talk to you about what I have gone through in life, what I have faced in my own life journey, how I came out of it. And when you listen to me, I'm sure if I have empathy in me, if I have the required honesty in me, you will definitely feel it. You'll get the vibes from me. I don't need to take anyone from any person. I don't need to quote big researchers or big all those motivational speakers who have tons of books in their names. I don't have any, and I don't need to quote them. I can motivate you by my sincerity of approach, by my understanding and empathy of your problem. So that's what I feel, that's what I've believed, and I have been doing it since the past 14, 15 years. And I'm proud to say that, yes, there have been some lives who I have touched, and who, God's blessing, are doing well in life.
Yes. And now, when we come about like what you told, I feel like telling the right person as well is also very important, because at times when you're telling somebody your story, with something that they might say hurt you, or they might come off as rude, or they're like, oh my God, that's not how life is. And that leads me to my next question. How do you think how important is sharing the right thing with the right person, because some people might tell it to other people, some might not respect your privacy or not respect you as a person or your story. So tell me about the importance of the right person with the right thing.
Yes. In so many ways, Raheen, I am all heart. I feel I'm more heart and less mind. I don't know. I always believe in vibes, you know. And yes, over time also, trust is something which you develop over time also, or maybe in a couple of interactions with the other person. The other person gives you the kind of vibes that you naturally feel very inclined and very you feel some kind of trust towards that person. And one mistake which we have been making since so many years, and which we still continue making, is that we do not believe in what children say. If a child comes to her mother and tells that, okay, mom, I'm not very happy with the way this particular uncle or this particular aunt is behaving, or the mother, the first response of the parent will be to disagree with the child, to not trust the child. And that is where, the child also develops trust issues with adults. So I think somewhere at home also we need to create that environment where the children can really come and talk to you. And for children, the best people to talk to are their parents, and parents should try to create a conducive atmosphere when children where children can come and talk to you, where they can have that kind of free access to the parents' emotions. And especially mothers, I would like to say, they need to have an open mind where they can, really trust the children, listen to what they are trying to say, not just, brush it away. Oh, it's all right, forget about it, he's an uncle, or she's just an aunt. Not that. Listen. And whatever motivation you may give, whatever trust you may give, if the person is listening to you well, and if you have the kind of vibes that, okay, this person is going to do good to me, then I think you should go by it. Certain things happen by instinct. Not everything is mathematics, 2 plus 2 4. It doesn't happen all the time. So I think most of the things we need to go by instinct also. We need to trust. Sometimes our trust might go wrong, yes, of course, but that's how we learn. That's how we learn to recognize the right person. So, all the best to everyone there. I hope everyone finds the kind of person that they would want to talk to and they could really trust him.
Yes, and I totally agree with you. Now, tell me something. And we talked about multitasking when it comes to especially like women, and when they're moms, then there's multitasking, the list of people, the list of professions that you're all incorporating in one. Of course, it increases and lengthens. Now, tell me, how has been this beautiful journey of multitasking for you, Vin?
It has been crazy at times. It has, of course, been crazy at times, raising two children, being a full time mom, as well as looking after my career, then my writing, and then the volunteering for TABS. Everything has been a remarkable, wonderful journey. If given a chance, I don't think so that I would like to have it any other way. So even though it has been crazy at times, I have been like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. Maybe I need to put my let things go. But when I look back, yes, it has been wonderful. I have been blessed to have a wonderful upbringing by my parents, and it has really made me the kind of strong and liberated woman that I am today. Yes, I'm proud to call myself that. I'm very strong mentally and emotionally. I'm very strong, and that has paved the way. My upbringing has paved the way for the kind of work that I'm doing today, for the kind of mental strength that I have in order to cope with every day as it comes, and for the multitasking that I do. So, yes, I should also not forget the roles played by my mother in law at home here, my parents, my husband, the wonderful household help that I have. These kind of things also matter a lot, Rahina, I must tell you, because when you are at least not in the grind of everyday life, everyday domestic chores, you are at least free mentally to think about so many different things. So I have been very blessed, very fortunate till date, and I continue. God sure must be blessing me from above. I hope He continues blessing me, and I continue working this way.
Yes. Now, you're also a translator, so tell me how that came to be, because translating is honestly the hard thing, because you still have to keep that beauty and that essence when you're translating.
Yes, yes. Translating is one of the toughest jobs that one can take up because you have to juggle two languages, and it's totally different from writing creatively. I think it's more technique and less creativity. So what brought me into this area was the need of some of the books from Indian languages to English. I felt that there were some books which really need to be translated because they needed a wider audience, and that is how it started. And there were a few poems which I really wanted to translate because certain things, they touch you to the extent that you want to share it with others. You want others to read it and understand it and emote to it in the same way that you do. So that is how I came into it. I have translated two novels so far from Indian languages, one from Nepali to English, and the other from Ohomia, Assamese to English, and a couple of poems and short prose pieces which are yet to be published in book form. So that is how I came about doing it. I love doing things, and I translate if I feel motivated enough to translate. If I love the work, I'll translate it. I will not translate if anyone asks me to do that. I cannot do that. So that's how
Yes,
it is.
and with the interview, I really see that you are the person of the heart, because something that would touch you, or someone that, or a story that touches you, that is what you would want to do. And that maybe the organization, or like the magazine Tafts, it touched you. That is why you want to work with them. And I really, really admire that, because you shouldn't just work for money. Work for your own self. Yes, money is important because you have to pay your bills as well, but that'll come with the passion, that'll come with the love, care, and also respect of your work, of your passion.
Yes. Unless and until you have passion towards what you do, you will not bring in the kind of determination or sincerity or hard work that is required. Tabs is like family for me. It's my second family, as I say. There are such wonderful people out there. The leadership that you talk of, my team members in the editorial board, everything is so wonderful. Everyone is so fascinating. Everyone has their own, ideas and passions that they share. We have these sessions where we connect. And it is not just work that connects us. We connect on a personal level. We are all like family to each other. We reach out in times of distress. And I love working with tabs. I love being in this magazine. It's a passion which we share with the whole world. And yes, I'm very hopeful that this magazine will open up new avenues of discourse and discussions with its second edition as well.
Yes, for sure. Now that we are coming to the end of our interview, honestly, it was amazing, amazing having you here talk about all these different things. First, now that you also spoke of tabs, now tell all of the people in the audience, or that have watched or are listening, and me as well, that when tabs is launched, how can we get access to it, and how can we learn more about it?
Okay, the magazine launches on 12th December. After that, on our website, you will be getting a link to buy the e-subscription, as well as we'll also have hard copies. Those I think will be available on demand. So everything will be uploaded in the website in a day or two. So everything can be accessed through it. And yes. You must read the magazine. I would like to tell everyone to read the magazine because it is not just scientific jargon or something like that. It is a magazine which every one of us will love reading. And the best part is that we'll understand what we are reading. It is not just, these hi fi subjects which we talk about, but subjects which are written in such a way that every one of us will understand and relate and feel that, okay, yes, I need to be there. So the Transdisciplinary Agora for future discussions is open for memberships. We invite you all to come join us. Watch we have done, visit the website, learn more about us, and join us. We need more motivated, invested people like you, Raheen. I'm so proud to be doing this interview with you today, and you are an inspiration in yourself, Raheen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You make me feel so proud of myself. And Stephen, I believe maybe is also working with Tafts or for Tafts. And this is why he said, now Taft.org, that's where you can get it. I'm definitely gonna get it. And I'm a big fan of hard copies. I'm probably gonna get one myself.
Yes, thank you.
So now the last two questions first. If anybody wants to reach out to you or wants to have an interview with you or just wants to work with you, how can they do so?
I think you just froze for a moment for me. I did not get that. Would you please repeat it?
Yes, for sure. Now tell me, if anybody wants to reach out to you for work or for an interview, whatever, they might have their own personal reasons. How can they do so? What's the platform to reach out to you?
Okay, so they can always visit our website. We have email IDs there. They can email to any one of us out there, and that's how they can reach the team. They can reach to anyone personally. So email IDs are all listed there. So yes, you must come. You must reach out to us. Let's join hands and work together in the future, which is beautiful and which we can make more beautiful if we work together hand in hand.
Hmm. And what's that one last message that you'd like to give out to all the people in our audience?
Stay positive, stay determined, be prepared for anything that the future may unfold. And yes, let's join hands, every one of us, uh, regardless of our race, caste, creed, language, religion. We are one. Humanity is one. And whatever we may have learned in the past, she is different, he is different, I am different, you are different. Let's unlearn that and let's relearn something which benefits every one of us. And relearning is love for humanity and to work for humanity. Thank you
Hmm.
so much, Raheen, for having me over. And I look forward to more such sessions with you. Raheen, you are awesome.
Thank you so much. It was amazing, amazing having you here. And I feel now I found somebody that I would love to work with in the future, would love to call my mentor if you permit me to, and would love to, just watch so much of you and also read your works. And where are they available?
Some of them are available on Amazon. Some are with an international publisher. I forget the name because I'll have to see. Raheen, I think I'll reach out to you on WhatsApp because
Okay,
I
you
am
can
not
just.
very not very. Did we freeze?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, we froze. We both froze.
Uh, we froze for a moment. So I need to find out which publishers have which of my books. So not all the works are available on Amazon. Some of them are though. I'll send you the link on WhatsApp, Raheen.
Okay, definitely. And as soon as I get link from you, I can then post it and also comment in the comment box so everybody who's watching can read some of your works. And I would love to personally as well. Thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure, and it's been one of the best interviews that I've had with people that I so connect with, people that I share with, those characteristics and those ideas. So I feel that is just amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for commenting, and for sharing out for those who did. Thank you so much, and I look forward to more amazing sessions like these.
Thank you so much, Raheen.